Hello, DV here, back with another episode of Solo Mothership with Devon Valentine. We are incorporating some Starforged type rules into, or maybe it's Ironsworn rules. I haven't actually played either one, but I've looked into both with some of our rules. So we're doing some like hybrid stuff, and I think hopefully that's okay with you. I'm having a good time with it. I'm trying to submit in my mind how I want to play, because Mothership's not inherently a solo RPG game, so I'm just trying to find my way as I go. So hopefully that's okay, and you're having fun with my misadventures. So last time we left off, we found out we are being hunted by a bounty hunter by the Hasmos Corporation for the cover-up of whatever happened on Aria. And we also know that we have a bounty hunter looking for us, and they will find us in 2 days. And so we don't have time to take a shore leave here on Siesta 3. And in order to get this tracker off of our dropship, we need to find an AI logic core. And so we found out about a salvage opportunity nearby of a derelict ship that we could go see if we could find an AI logic core in it. I don't have high hopes that we will find an AI logic core there. I don't think they're just laying around just anywhere. And so do know of an AI in this system, Ari, on TEL-022. That is a possibility. We could go back to TEL-022. We do have Cade with us now, so we could go back there, and probably it's still powered from when I was there. It's only been a few, well, I guess maybe it's been a week or two, but we could go back there and try to find Ari's logic core. Interesting. So maybe that'll be a secondary thing we could do if we don't find anything in this salvage opportunity. Likewise, we might be able to just ditch this Hasmos dropship. Just ditch it. Just say, screw it. I could see if Nicole's group would be willing to buy it from it, or not even buy it. It's not ours. If she wanted it, like if she wanted to bear the cost. I think it's unlikely, because I think she would still need someone to jailbreak it, and then it would be a liability for her. So she's probably unlikely to do that. So I think what we'll do is we'll just buy some fuel for the ship first here in the station. It's 1,000 credits per unit, so 2,000 units, or 2,000 credits for the 2 units. Now the ship has been fully refueled, and so we now can say goodbye to our new friend Alec, and we'll come back in 3 days if we can get back here in 3 days, and we will talk to Dr. Addis about what they found out concerning dust flies. But in the meantime, we're gonna go to this derelict. We do have some tools. I have my laser cutter as well. What else do we need? We got a crowbar, we got a toolkit, got some stim packs, got a little bit of food. We do have 2 vac suits, one for me and one for Cade Zachary. He's my sidekick. He doesn't participate much. Like, he'll participate in combat, but he's not going to do much as far as talking or anything like that. Let's go ahead and undock from this Siesta 3, and we will make our way to this derelict. Now, we do have the coordinates for the derelict from the rumor that we got out of the bar. And so what we're going to do is it's going to be considered interplanetary travel, because it is here in the Joy system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll first. Well, let's pull up the Joy system. So here is a map of our sector, and we are here in the Joy system, and we are currently at Siesta 3, which I think is, let's see, where's Siesta 3? Number 6. We're currently here in Siesta 3, and we have to fly to the location. It's kind of out here in the reaches of space, but it's considered interplanetary travel still. And so what we're going to do is, the first thing we need to do is we need to roll on the Oracle to see if anything happens during our travel from Siesta 3 to our location. So there is, inside of Hull Breach, there is a travel procedure roll here. It's a 1d10, or 1d5 rather. And we're going to be doing interplanetary travel here. And so we're going to roll 1d10 here and see what we get. We got a 9. So 9 minus 5 is a 4. We got hailed. All right. So who is hailing us? Let's look in the hail table. And it's also a 1d5. It's a 1. A pirate broadcast rambles through the tangle of sector. And they are talking about different conspiracies. All right. So some of the conspiracies that they are talking about are an android homeworld, company disinformation, which we know about. So they're talking about Hasmos, but it's just a broadcast. It's not something we can communicate with them about. So we do hear a lot of information about Hasmos and about what happened on Aria, and that it's all a cover-up. It's a massive cover-up. There's some information about the Rim Space Liberation Front, which is an organization that's opposing the corporate rule of these sectors. And so we hear some interesting tidbits about that we might be able to use in our later investigation of the Hasmos Corporation cover-up. All right, so let's see. I guess we arrive after that. That's what occurred during the travel, and I think that's the only roll we have to make. So let's switch over to our tables from Starforged here, and we're going to roll on some Derelict tables to find out what is in this Derelict. Now, I know that Mothership has the Dead Planet module, which also gives you some Derelict, and I kind of looked through it, but it seems like it would be more useful for a warden with a group than for solo play, because it lays out everything at once. Like, you roll and it gives you everything. And I kind of want to get it zone by zone. And so I'm going to use these rules for the Derelict instead. So, which I could have just rolled for interplanetary travel encounters from this thing. Let's just see what the space sighting. Interesting. Parallel opportunities. Oh, yeah, we might do that on the way back. Okay, so let's take a look, and we're going to look at the Derelicts, and let's see what this looks like on the outside first. It is, we know it's in an orbital. It's not in deep space. We're orbiting the sun of the Joy system, and so it is a derelict ship. Let's take a look at the condition first. We're going to roll a D100. It is a 44. So it looks like it is cold and dark. We're flying around in our little dropship. The Merida dropship is a very small ship. It can hold enough for a 12-ton shipping container. So we can put quite a bit in here, but and we are in our vac suits, by the way. I just want to point that out. So for the outer first look, let's roll a D6 first and see which table we're going to roll on. The 3. All right, so then we're going to roll our D100. Flying around the ship, we notice there's an explosive hole in the exterior. So something blew up inside the ship, or someone breached the ship with weapon fire. We can't tell from here which is the case, but we're flying around looking for the access point to the ship there. And so we're going to go to the access point here, and we're going to get attached with our umbilical system between the dropship and the access area. And it's basically just a flexible tube. It's very tenuous. It's not a very secure way to. Normally the dropship would just dock with a ship, but this ship in particular, since it's unpowered, we can't open docking bay doors or anything like that. So we're just going to get it connected to the access area, the access hatch of the ship with our umbilical system. And what does this access area look like first? It is a set of stairs. So we come inside this airlock system basically, and there's no air in here. It's cold and it's dark. There's no air. What features do we see inside this access area? 62. A scrawled warning. What does the scrawled warning say? So it says something like, "Watch out for the bugs." And it's scrawled across the wall. It kind of trails off. Is there a peril here? I think there's probably not peril in the actual access area, but we'll say yes or no. Yes is above 50. No is below 50. 50 or below. Is there peril here? Yes, there is a peril here. And it's a 77, which means the path is trapped. And since it's a double fail, basically, we're going to say that we trigger that trap as we're kind of trying to poke around. So someone had set up a booby trap that looks like it is we're in 0G too, by the way. So it had a little pressurized bottle set whenever we passed through a battery powered sensor, and it's like a little IR detector. And so when that light is blocked, that pressurized gas shoots out a collection of shrapnel. It's like pieces of sheared metal and tools and bolts and screws and things like that. It's a very rudimentary trap, but we're gonna make an evade save to see if we can evade this. So I'm gonna make a speed check, and I am in 0G, so I do get my 0G skills there, but we do get disadvantage because we are in a vac suit. So I'm gonna make 2 rolls here, and that's already a fail, so I don't need to roll again. So we failed to dodge out of the way of all of this shrapnel, and we're going to get 1d4 damage. 4. Great. That puts me down to 0 health. Yay! Oh my gosh, we get to roll a wound already. Okay, so shrapnel, we're going to say is... Alright, here's the wounds. We're going to say the shrapnel is probably bleeding damage. And so our health is now back up to 20, but we now have 1 wound. Alright, we have 1 wound already. Dang. Tell you what wound did we get from this? Man, it sure would have been nice if we could have rested, you know what I mean? Alright, we gotta roll a d10 and see what wound we get from this. It's gonna be on the bleeding thing. 5. Fingers, toes severed. Oh no! It severs one of my fingers and I get bleeding +3. Holy cow, a major injury. Oh man, the blast severs my left hand and takes off my last 2 fingers, my pinky finger and my ring finger, and completely severs them, and blood is now spurting from my wounds, and my vac suit is now rapidly depressurizing. And so I do have a med kit, a first aid kit that I can use to patch up bleeding. So I can use that to tourniquet my hand. So I'm going to make my way back through the umbilical system, and I'm going to go ahead and patch up myself with this med kit. So we're going to use the med kit to patch up my bleeding. So I don't have the bleeding condition anymore. However, I do have now lost my fingers on my left hand. And so that is wild. And that obviously was stressful as well. And so that is going to do that. And I think I'm gonna oh my gosh. This is terrible. We're gonna die. I'm back in the dropship now. I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to repair my vac suit with some of the tools. They have some vac suit repair kits inside of the dropship, and I'm going to go ahead and spend the time repairing that vac suit. So I'll get mechanical repair plus my intellect. It's a 56. So let's see what happens. An 04, that's good. I'm able to repair my vac suit so that it's no longer losing air. And so now I'm ready to go back in to the ship. This derelict ship that may or may not have bugs on it. Oh my gosh. All right. We are going to go back into the access area there, and up the stairs of the access area. We're just going to float along those little stairs there. There's a hatch, and when we open up the hatch, what do we see for the next room? 69. Nice. An operations area. Okay, so what kind of an operations area is it? 54. A conference or a briefing room. Okay, so we drift into this conference briefing room. Is there any outstanding features here? There's a control terminal here. It is completely unpowered, so we are going to mess around with it and see if we can bring it back to life. It is unlikely, so we have to roll below a 25 in order to be able to see if we can do anything with this terminal. No. Okay, so we can't do anything with the terminal. It is not powered. So I'm going to roll a yes or no here on this. Well, we'll just roll a yes or no. If we get a yes, which is below 50, we will get a apparel. If we get above 50, then we'll get an opportunity. So let's take a look and see what we get. All right, above 50, we get an opportunity. 81, a secure area that offers a moment of peace. Oh, okay. Fantastic. So inside this meeting room, there's a little side office there that we come in there and we kind of rest and relax. And we're going to say that from resting, let's see if we can get rid of some of the stress. All right, so we have to use our worst save, and we are going to roll a die against our rest save, which will be our body. It's 31. And if we get below our body save, then we reduce our stress by the 1 digit. Otherwise, we gain the stress instead. Whew, that's going to be brutal. So let's see if we pass. 41, we failed. All right, so we gain the stress. So I just can't stop thinking about the pain in my hand from losing those fingers, and I can't rest and relax. And so we are unable to do anything there. Okay, so we inside of this room, our branching off from this room are two different doors. There's a door on our left and a door on the right. We're going to go over to the door on the left first, and I probably should create a little map so that we can see what we're seeing here. All right, so this is just a little ASCII art thing that I sometimes use for making maps. This is a little access. This is the access point that we came in at, this little dot here. And then we came into the meeting room area. So we'll just draw that out. So then we have two doors that go, one door that goes up and then one door that goes down. And we're going to, whoops, wrong thing. And so we're going to choose this door up here first and see where that takes us next. So we're going to just pop that there. we're gonna go that way. And what do we roll for the next area? What do we see on this next area? 75. Another operations area. Okay, and what is it this time? 70. A lounge. Oh, okay. And what do we see inside this lounge? 53. Intricate control panels. Oh, interesting. Intricate control panels. Okay. Lounge with intricate control panels. Oh, I wonder if as a part of this lounge there was an AI bot that would interact with the passengers. Like maybe they could have a conversational AI or something. Interesting. But first, before we pursue that, is there peril here? So peril is above 50. I mean, below 50. Opportunity is above 50. Alright, 76. Good. A log offers insight into the site's downfall. Okay. So we can see in the log that they were having some sort of mechanical trouble in their reactor. And they were using a self-powered tool to bring power to this log here, and plug a device into it and kind of read what's on the logs. And so we see that they were having this reactor trouble, and upon investigation there were these bugs that had infested this reactor. They were drawn to the power of this reactor, some sort of space bug. FenWasps, I think they're called. FenWasps. They are drawn to hot air currents, desert valleys, jungle canopies, reactors, engines, thermal plants, and hydroponics. And so they were drawn to the reactor, and they caused it to malfunction and explode. And so we may have FenWasps here inside the facility somewhere, or inside this derelict, which is scary, because we're already in a bad way. Or I am. I think Zach is perfect. Cade Zachary is perfectly fine. Dirty dog. Okay, so that's interesting. So we know there's some FenWasp here. Is there an AI as part of this lounge or anywhere on the ship? Can I find that from the logs? Probably not. Maybe. Log offers insight into the site's downfall. No. But we'll say, we'll check, is there an AI? Can I tell if there was an AI as part of this lounge? Yes, it is above 50. No, it is below 50. Yes! Barely! Oh my gosh, yes, there is an AI as a part of this lounge computer system. So we are going to go ahead and I'm going to spend the time, I'm going to do a check, a mechanical repair check, and I'm going to break open this computer system inside the lounge and see if I can extract the AI core here. And so we're going to go ahead and make a roll, mechanical repair roll with intellect. That's a 56. Can I extract this AI logic core? Oh, a fail, but not a critical fail. And so I am able to extract the logic core. However, when I'm doing so, it sets off a kind of an alarm in the ship. So we hear this buzzing alarm. And the ship is largely unpowered, so it must be some sort of emergency backup system that that has happened due to this this thing here. So what can the well, let's just get the heck out of here, right? So so once this alarm starts going off, we are going to make our way back through the ship. We got what we came for. Like, it would be nice to get some salvage from this thing, obviously, but I'm scared to death now. So we're in this lounge area here. We'll keep a record of this derelict. so that if we decide to come back at some point, then we can do so. And then I'm just going to put a little L in here for this is the lounge. This is an operations center. Okay, and then there's an open door there. I'm just going to save this so that we can maybe come back to it at a later point if we want to. Alright, so we're going to make our way through here. Does anything happen when we get back into the operations area? 55, that's a yes. And it's a wild yes. Dang. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Dang it. What happens? 5. Tight gap. Oh! The door to between the operations chamber and the access here is rapidly closing. So we have to make a check, a speed check at disadvantage, by the way, to get there in time to get through that door before it closes. Now, I do have a crowbar with me. So I think I'm going to throw that crowbar into that doorway to see if it will block the door from closing. So I'm gonna take my crowbar, I'm gonna throw it. We're in 0G, right? So it's just gonna float into the doorway, and we're gonna make a speed check here. And oh my god, a critical fail. Jeez. So why does the game hate me? Why does the game hate me? So the doors do close on the crowbar, and it had angled itself in such a way that instead of keeping the doors from closing, it pinches the crowbar in such a way that it flips it back toward us, and it comes and it hits Devon, and he gets 1d10 damage. So we're gonna roll 1d10, would be this guy over the left. 10 damage! Oh my god! We are not having a good time today. We are not having a good time today. Oh my gosh. He is desperately hurt. And that's going to cause him some stress as well. Oh my gosh. He is incredibly stressed out. But now we're trapped. Alright, so now we are trapped inside of this operations chamber. Now, we could go ahead and try to... I'm gonna bring up Cade. Cade's gonna help us out. Because Devon, he's in a bad way. Alright, here we got Cade and Zachary here. And he's going to he's gonna take the crowbar and he's gonna try to pry open. He's a strong boy. So he's gonna try to pry open this this closed door. Now he does have his 0G skill. He doesn't have mechanical repair or anything. He's a pilot instead. But he's going to use his 0G skill along with the crowbar to try to pry open this door. So he's going to use a strength check to do so, and he's going to add that 0G skill. So he's got to beat a 70. So what do you do, Mr. Man? So strength check plus 0G. He's going to roll a critical success. Nice. Fantastic. So he's able to pry open that door to the access panel, and when he does, the alarm quits going off. So that's great. And I'm gonna decrease Devon's stress by 1 due to how easily Zach was able to do that. So now he's back down to an 18, and we need to get the heck out of here for sure. So we get back on board the Merida dropship, and we are going to make haste back to Siesta 3. Holy cow, what a journey that was. Devon is not in good shape, for sure. I forgot to give myself the armor point reduction because actually this was a new vac suit, so it should have had AP3 to start with, so really okay, don't worry about it. We'll just take it as it goes. We'll just accept the fact that I did it wrong. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna go back here, and instead of rolling on the hull breach, encounter table. We're going to roll on this one. And what we're going to fly back out into the towards the Siesta 3 station. And what do we see? We're going to roll on the terminus, because I feel like I don't know what these mean in regards. We're just going to roll on this far left from terminus. Okay. 67. When we're flying back, we come across a debris field of frozen asteroids. So there's we're in this little asteroid field of like frozen ice and debris, and so Zach is going to have to make a piloting check in order to use speed and piloting to see if he can. All right, success. All right, so he's able to navigate his way through this asteroid field, and we make our way back to Siesta 3 station. All right, once we get back to the station, we hail once again. You know, this is Devon and Cade. We're back. Can we dock with Siesta 3? They give us the affirmative, and we dock back with the station. All right, once we're back on the station, we make our way. We find our escort, Alex, and we make our way back to Black Sky, the hacker, and we deliver this AI core, and he's shocked. You know, he's like, already, in his little robotic auto-tuned voice, already, would you like to play a game? And maybe he does offer us to play. He has some games, but no, we're not gonna do that. So yeah, we give him the logic core, and he says that he'll get to work on it right away, because he likes doing that kind of stuff, right? So we don't have to convince him to do it. He's happy to do it, not only to stick it to the big guy, stick it to Hasmos, but also because he just enjoys doing that kind of thing. So he takes the logic core from us, and he tells us that he should be able to have it done in a number of hours. How many hours, you say? Let's roll a d10 and find out. 9 hours. All right. So we have 9 hours to kill, and I think it would be a good idea for us to get some sleep, and that will kill the timer on the... First, if we sleep for 6 hours, at least we get to recover our health points. Not our wounds, but our health points. And so I'm missing 2 fingers. So we may have to find some sort of prosthetic or something. Some prosthetic fingers. It seems like I remember seeing prosthetic fingers as part of the Mega Mart in this Mega Mart thing. We'll take a look here in just a second. That might be interesting. And we'll rest, heal up, and we'll do another stress check, I guess, and see if we can lower Devon's stress. He's in a bad way. He's really, really in a bad way. He needs shore leave. He doesn't need to rest. He needs full-blown shore leave. But that will only leave us 1 day until the bounty hunter finds us. And so we should be fine. Once Blue Sky gets this done, then we should be okay. We're going to make our way back to the Mega Mart here, and let's see if we can find what they have. Okay, so I couldn't find anything about prosthetic fingers, so maybe we'll have to go to a more prominent place. This is kind of a backwater station, so I guess we can't get our prosthetic fingers installed here. And they do have rudimentary health facilities here, but I don't think they'll have anything to the point where we need to treat our wounds. And so we'll have to get that treated once we find a more well-equipped station. However, we will say that while we're waiting, let's go ahead and take our nap. And so we're going to go ahead and rest for those 9 hours. That's going to bring my health back up to full health. But I still have my wound here. And so Alec comes back to our ship. That's where we're sleeping in our ship. And because it's free, right? And Alec comes back, and he says that Blue Sky is ready to see us. And so we go back to Blue Sky, and he says that he was able to use the logic core to jailbreak our ship. So now basically this drop ship is ours. Like this is our drop ship, And I'll have to look up and see what the value of this dropship is if we decide to sell it. But it's now basically ours. And so we need to spend some time getting these Hasmos logos off the ship. So we go to the berth there, and in the docking bay where the maintenance guy is in the dry dock, this Vasco guy, and we're gonna have a little discussion with him to see if he can basically take off all the logos. All right, so how does he interact with us? Vasco. First of all, what does Vasco look like? I think he's described somewhere. He's part of the Roughnecks. He's gangly and bent, encyclopedic knowledge of spaceship models, awkward, approval starved. Okay, he sabotages critical systems and heroically repairs them. Wow, what a jerk. All right, so we're going to talk to this Vasco guy. How does he feel about us? So his initial disposition toward us is helpful. All right, well, that's good. So he's a mechanic. What goal does he have? 30. He wants to build a home. Well, isn't that nice? He wants to build a home for himself. I'm guessing on the station somewhere. Like he's currently probably just in like a barracks for the mechanics, and he wants to have his own capsule like Nicole and some of the other more well-to-do or higher up people. So he has a little bit of aspiration to make a little better place for himself here on the station. So we may be able to use that information perhaps. But anyway, he is helpful, so he offers to help us. He'll do it for, let's say, how much? 80 credits. Well, that's not bad. And in fact, that's a steal. That's a steal. 80 credits? Heck yeah. So we pay for him to go ahead and paint paint over the Hasmos markings on the ship, and we still have Hasmos markings on our vac suit, but that's okay. And so now we can go ahead and talk to Nicole again and tell her that we'd like to stay here, that the tracking system has been removed from our ship, and that she doesn't have to worry about that anymore. We can take off this AI logic core objective here. Got that done. And the salvage opportunity, in reality, will we ever go back there? We might. Now that we can fly around freely, we might go back there. So we'll keep that on there because we know where it's at, and we can go and take a look around the rest of the ship. There was still a lot of ship left to explore there. And so we might go and give that the old look-see at some point as well. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go to the shore leave here. And we're going to pay for shore leave. Nico, she doesn't have a problem with us staying here now, that we can't be tracked here. The bounty hunter is going to be looking for us, but he doesn't know where we're at this point. So we'll roll randomly every day to see if he gets closer to finding us, and we'll figure out some way to track that. Maybe we'll use some sort of tracker like they use in Ironsworn, where you have like a little progress bar, and if they make enough rolls, or we might make some sort of save, I guess, to see if they find us, like make an intellect check, and every time we fail the check, they make progress towards finding us. That sounds interesting. Maybe we'll do that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pay 2d10 times 100 for our shore leave here. So it's 76 times 100. Holy, or no, 2d10, which is 13 times 100. So that's 1,300 credits. Dang, I'm using up these credits faster than I can get them. Good thing I got such a good payday on that first job. All right, so that would be 13,360. All right. Yeah, we got that done. And now we're going to go ahead and take the shore leave, which is going to be 2d10 days. How long is that going to be? 5 and 9, 14 days. So we're going to spend 14 days here. Oh, and that's perfect for my nightmares. So my nightmares will be gone in this 14 days, so we can get rid of that as well. All right, so that would be a good thing for sure. So we spent the 14 days, and we'll bring up a tracker of some sort. I'll add it up here somewhere to track the bounty hunter progress. And so I'll do that at the end of this session, and we'll get that added in there, and we'll track. We'll roll at the beginning of next session. We'll roll for the bounty hunter's progress in that 14 days if he is able to find us. And in addition, after the 3 days, Dr. Addis, they will be able to reveal their findings for us. And so at the beginning of next session, I'm going to write myself some notes here, the things that we're going to do. We're going to check with Dr. Addis. We're going to do our bounty hunter progress. And also, we will probably be able to talk to this Spiff guy, or whatever his name was, about the Asmos conspiracy. And we can tell him about what we heard on the pirate radio as well. And what else do we have going on? Now that we have done that, we're going to make a sanity save. And the way this sanity save works is if we succeed, we will convert some of the stress into improved saves. So I can increase my fear, sanity, or body save. On a critical success, we convert the maximum amount, which is 1d5, so it would be 5. On a failure, we don't convert any stress, but we relieve all our stress. And on a critical failure, we don't convert or relieve any stress, and we have to make a panic check. So, all right, so we're making a sanity save, which is a 35. And let's roll. 79. Dang. That's a failure. So we get relieved of all our stress, but we don't get to add any new skills. And I gain 1 stress for failing a save. All right, so that's going to be about it for this episode. I really enjoyed it. I hope you did as well. We're going to continue the next session. We will try to get more progress on this Hasmos cover-up, and also in the Dr. Addis study for Project Hellmouth. And then we will also add a bounty hunter. So I think I might add a couple of little progress bars, similar to what Ironsworn uses, because I feel like that's a good idea to be able to track, like, when we're done. Like, you know, are we done yet with that? You know what I mean? So instead of being arbitrary through the narrative, we'll have like a concrete goal that we can check against. And I think that might be interesting. This whole mothership might devolve into a game of Ironsworn, who knows? Or Starforged. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this episode. Be sure and hit the like button, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.